feel like when it comes to loving people and when it comes to involving yourself, you need to set boundaries up from the beginning. You know what I mean? That's not, being guarded. That's not being jaded. That's not being hurt. It's reality. Like, you gotta let people ease into you. You know what I mean? Too many times people enter into our worlds and they damage us. And they damage us on the strength that, they manipulated us to allow them to say, oh, you're guarded, you got trust issues, yeah. So, like, you know what I mean? I don't know you. Like, you can't just trust something you don't know from the beginning. You know what I mean? It's just the reality of it. Now, I'm not saying like be 100% guarded forever and just feel like, oh yeah, you gotta break down this wall, you gotta break that, it's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? That's how motherfuckers move on. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you don't need to be so open because that's how motherfuckers get turned off. You know? Sometimes we have to find that gray area between what's too much transparency and, what's too much, shadow. And that comes with, as I always discuss, knowing yourself, but we're not gonna get into that. You have to, when it comes to relationships and, interacting with people, now this is just not, romantic relationship, this is including platonic, all relationships, is familial too. You know what I mean? You have to understand what that person's purpose is in your life. Everybody has a purpose in our lives, period. Like, and you need to understand that purpose in order to know how to interact with that person. And I don't think we're taught that. It's not that I know we're not taught that, how to interact with people according to the relationship in which they mean for our lives. Our parents, they mean something to us. Our sisters and brothers, they mean something to us. Cousins, every relationship we have has a relevance to us that we have to figure out. But we're just so stuck on, basic shit. Like, it's just, we're together. You know what I mean? That we can't even see too much outside of that. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, what happens when that relationship falters? We freak out. We feel like, oh, this wasn't supposed to happen to me. Contrary to popular belief, maybe it was. Maybe that was an experience you were supposed to have because that was the only relationship that can give you that experience. But because you missed it, you continue to go through certain experiences like that in life because you can't see it. We look at, this is not a shot towards my sisters because, I always say I love y'all and y'all love me too and we love each other. But at some point, you have to get to a point where you have to acknowledge that you're attracted to the shit that's fucking you up. Because, and I just use you guys as an example because, it's more prevalent. Us, we don't really speak about it when we get played out, when we get hurt. Like, we don't run around, but we have to acknowledge on both parts that we're attracted to us fucking us up. But why? Are we really getting the lessons out of that? You feel what I'm saying? Are we truly understanding the full dynamic as to what this relationship means for us? Why do we have a type? You know what I mean? Why do we like a certain type of person, certain type of relationship? Why do we involve ourselves with that? Not only that, why are we so intertwined with certain relationships and get mad when they go sour? Knowing that they're going to go sour because we're attracted to that shit. How many times after the relationship is over we say shit like, yo, I knew that I shouldn't have been fucking with you. Or I knew that this was going to happen. If you knew, then why'd you go through it again? That's stupidity, bro. Like, you didn't make a mistake. You acknowledge that you didn't make a mistake. So, you can't have a pity party after that. But then, we got to see why that happens that way. You know what I'm saying? Why are we, why are relationships driven just to be with somebody? That's powerful. Because every relationship experience, every bit of guidance that somebody teaches us about relationships and gives us on that dynamic, what do they tell us? They just tell us how to be with somebody. They never tell us how to love people.